Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shai, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shai, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shai, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shai. First and foremost, all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bashem HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to brothers in the highways and byways, doing the work sincerely and faithfully, continually fighting the good fight of faith, and likewise to you sisters who truly trust and believe in the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. May you be watched over as well. All right. So it's going to be quick, right to the point. All right. And, just as of late, the shit that's been going on, when you are selected by Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, when the Lord has chosen you to be a servant, to be a man of the Lord, there are certain things that are expected of you. All right. And these things that are expected of you, come upon you when the Lord has supped with you and you become seasoned and the Lord has trusted you with his words. All right. And there's two types of conversations in this world, in this thing of ours, I should say. Holy conversation and filthy conversation. All right. And when you become a man of the Lord, your conversations are strictly holy conversations. All right. Refraining and avoiding filthy conversations is essential, man. So I'll give you an example of filthy conversation outside of this thing of ours. If you run into, let's say you run into a cat that you used to run with back in the day, right? And you ain't seen him in a long time. You see him like, yo, you happy to see the man. You ain't seen him in a long time. And he says to you something along the lines of, yeah, man, I've been smashing this chick. She go a homeboy, and this is now entered into the realm of filthy conversation. Okay. And a man of the Lord response is going to be, hey, yo, bro, that shit is wicked, man. Even though they're not in this truth, being rebuked is not just for a man in the truth. All right. You let a man know, yo, that's wicked. You going off, you messing around with another man's wife, so on and so forth. All right. But again, you're refraining from entertaining filthy conversation. All right. So you wipe your hands clean of that. And likewise with holy conversation, being a man of the Lord is just not when the camera comes on. It's not when the cameras come on and the garment you put on the garment, you're out in the streets. All right. This is our life, man. This is what we do. This is who we are. This is our life. All right. It's not about playing both sides of the tracks. The camera comes on and all of a sudden you're a super duper Israelite teaching and going through it. But when the camera goes off, you go back into the world. I don't give a goddamn, if you in your bedchamber, if you in your job, you keep your conversation holy, man. You keep it holy at all costs, man. If someone's going off, let's say you at work, someone's going off, you tell them about themselves. Hey, yo, that shit ain't right. You shouldn't be doing nothing like that. All right? Because we being men of the Lord, we have been set up with the standard of judgment. All right? Even though the majority of the people in this world, won't understand what we do and who we are and the things we say, they're still not exempt from hearing a rebuke. All right? So let's get into it. 2 Peter 3:11. It says, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought you to be in all holy conversation and godliness? All right? In all holy conversation and godliness. Being set up as that light, that beacon of light, or that standard, you know, people are going to listen. Wherever you go, once we start talking and people are like, oh, man, this man got some understanding in him or some knowledge in him, though they can't figure out the driving force behind what we know or the knowledge, which is the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, but they know one thing for certain, that the way you speak and the way you carry yourself, you know, is on a totally different level. And that's why you got to be very mindful of the things you say. You know, and I'll put it this way, on and off camera, how you carry yourself as a man, how you set yourself as an example to the younger brothers. All right? This isn't just a showtime thing. When the camera goes on, everybody's, you know, on their best, you know. When you in the house, you know, it's 12:41 and you sitting there meditating, you praying, and just making supplication, you keeping yourself holy, keeping your conversation clean. All right? Now, let's go to the blue letter. And I want to look up the word conversation. I'm trying to play this thing here. Give me a second.
Strong's G391. Anastrophe.
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 All right? It says manner of life, conduct, behavior, deportment. All right? So let's look at that word deportment, just for those who don't know. It says deportment. It says a person's behaviors or manners. All right? So it's right along the same line of what we're talking about. All right? How you conduct yourself, your manner of life. Being a man of the Lord isn't just a fad, man. This is our life. This is who we are. And the Lord has given us this honor. All right? The Lord has given it to us. Not of our own. Because a lot of men who have come this far in the truth, man, they tend to get puffed up for themselves. And as if they have done it on their own. Okay, let's go to 2 Peter 2:7. It says, "And delivering just Lot, vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked." All right, and we know what this is talking about. When the men of Sodom and Gomorrah came unto Lot's house looking to meet the angels, if you will. All right, but again, the filthy conversation of the wicked. And to this very day, you know, there are men who profess themselves to be men of the Lord who are saturated with filthy conversation, man. Because why? They have never been truly cleansed from the world that they grew up in, that they were brought up in. All right? The ways of this world have embedded itself in one's, you know, spirit so deep that the ability to shed it is just impossible. Though they portray to be cleansed, but their actions and their manners show otherwise. All right? So let's go check out filthy. Yeah. All right, so now let's go over the word filthy, Salakia. And it says, it's pronounced
Strong's G766. As El Gaya. As El Gaya.
As El Gaya. We're going to open it up. And it says, The definition, the biblical use is unbridled lust, access, licentiousness. Forgive me, let me get that. Let's see if we can get that out. See if they have a pronunciation key here. So it's licentiousness is a noun that means behavior that is sexually uncontrolled and socially unacceptable. All right. Now, forgive me on this pronunciation of this word. As we know, some of these words are tough to pronounce. All right. Lasciviousness, wantonness, outrageousness, shamelessness, and insolence. Let's read that. Look at that word. See what that little definition. Insolence is a noun that means rude or disrespectful behavior or speech. All right. So this is all concerning. This is all concerning the word filthy. All right. So all that being said, being a man of the Lord and constantly being in the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, you're going to be mindful of the things you say and the things you engage in. All right. Men who engage in things that are outside, things of this world are really not walking in the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man. If you're continually defending or speaking and acting in the manner of the ways of this world, this is Ephesians 1:4 says, according as he has chosen us in him before the foundation of the world, that we should be holy and without blame before him in love. All right. And this is what a man is going to be, a man who is, consistently and constantly thinking and engaging in holy conversation. So there's a lot of lessons to be learned, man. There's a lot of lessons to be learned as Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is starting to do certain things in this world. And as these things transpire and unfold, it just makes you think and examine yourself that much harder, and to be more harder on yourself concerning the things that you speak about and the people you're around. All right. So that's just about it. This was a quick one. I was just thinking about, being a man of the Lord. A man of the Lord, you don't take a break, man. And you're not able, this isn't the thing where you're a man of the Lord on camp day, but go back into the world to be, a thug in the world until the next camp day rolls around. This is a constant thing. It's a way of our life, what we know now. All right. So Lord willing, I'm going to see you brothers another one. I'm going to say shalom.